Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very bright morning here at Kilifi, Kenya, and I hope this video finds you well whenever you're watching it from. For those watching me for the first time, my name is Ananda Shadrach. Kindly consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel, and also don't forget to give this video a like and also comment below. I want to emphasize on liking a video. When you like my video, you are recommending it to other viewers. So it is very important that you give the video a like. The people of Kenya have been blaming Uhuru Kenyatta for the rise in the price of Unga. And the then deputy president, who is now the current president of Kenya, had promised Kenyans that if they elect him into office, he will immediately bring the price of Unga down. And Kenyans have been so eager to see the former government handing over power to President William Ruto, because he had promised that he will also change the state of economy in 100 days in office. However, or surprisingly, immediately William Ruto was sworn into office, the price of goods started going higher even more. This includes the price of fuel and cooking oil. And just the other day, the president of Kenya, William Ruto, promised Kenyans that the price of Unga will go down to as low as 150 Kenya shillings in a week time. They are expecting maize, imported maize, to come in the country, and once they are in the country, then the price of Unga will go down. And yesterday, the State House spokesperson posted or shared information on his social media account, on his Twitter account to be specific, that the price of Unga is now retailing at 160. But this was not true. It was just lies and lies and lies. They had just staged and took pictures of those prices. I'm here to tell you that the price of Unga will never go down. And if the president is promising Kenyans that the price of Unga will go down as low as 150 Kenya shillings, then it's just a naked lie na anatubeba tu fala. Here is why the price of Unga will never go down. Before we even look at why the price of Unga will never go down, we need first to look into what determines the price of a commodity in the market. And for those who attended business classes, you will agree with me that the price of a commodity in the market is determined by two major factors. One being the interaction between the demand for that particular commodity and the supply of it. In this case, if the demand of a commodity is higher than the supply, definitely the price of that commodity will tend to be high because more people are willing to buy. And if the supply of that commodity is higher than the demand, definitely the price of that commodity will tend to be low because less people are willing to buy that product. Another factor that determines the price of commodity is the cost of production. And this is where our argument is going to be based at. Before we even look into the cost of production, I should first describe or explain what is the cost of production so that that person who did not attend a business class can also understand. And I cannot explain the meaning of the cost of production without mentioning the factors of production. I will first therefore describe what is factors of production. Factors of production is an economic term that is used to describe the inputs that are used in the production of goods and services. Let's take, for example, when you want to make chapati. When you want to make chapati, you will first need cooking oil. You will also need the wheat flour. You will also need source of heat and labor. Labor is the person that will make those chapati. So all these four are now called or are now referred as factors of production. Therefore, cost of production is the cost of all these resources that are needed in the making of goods and services. And the rise in the cost of these goods definitely rises the cost of production. Now let us come back to our let us come back to our discussion. We are trying to look at what has made the price of unga high. Right now, when you want to make unga, you will need two major things. One being the raw materials itself. You cannot make maize flour without using maize itself. So the raw material is a resource that is needed to make the maize flour. Another resource is energy. When I talk of energy, I mean fuel and electricity. Another major resource is labor. But in our case, we are not going to look into labor. Let us base our argument in energy and in raw materials. Definitely, the price of these two commodities, if the price of these commodities is high, anybody telling us that the price of unga will go down is a liar. Because these two commodities affect the cost of production directly. They greatly and directly affect the cost of production. Therefore, the rise in the prices of these commodities is directly rises the cost of the final commodity, which is unga. Right now, as we speak, fuel and electricity is very high. Fuel is very high, and electricity right now as we speak is very high in our country. How do you expect the price of unga to be low if the price of electricity and fuel is high? If the president of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, is promising Kenyans that the price of unga will go down without lowering the price of electricity and the price of fuel, he is lying to us in a broad daylight, and he should first be ashamed of himself for always lying to Kenyans. President William Ruto is full of promises, unrealistic promises that will never happen. How do you lower the price of unga without lowering the price of energy? Let me ask you a question. Do you know the price of raw maize as we speak in Kenya? The price of raw maize. Do you know the price of raw maize as we speak right now in Kenya? If you do not know, let me get it from me that the price of maize now range between 130 Kenya shillings to 160 Kenya shillings per kg. It is very high price. It has never been experienced in our country. So if the maize is retailing at 130 to 160 Kenya shillings per kg, how do you expect the processed maize to be lower than 150? How? How do you expect the processed maize to be lower than 200? How? President Ruto is just lying to Kenyans that the price of unga will go down, and we should accept and be prepared to buy unga at 200 for another 1 year, unless the price of energy is lowered. So based on this information about the price of energy and the price of maize, President Ruto's promises that the price of unga will be retailing at 150 Kenya shillings is unrealistic, and he is a person not to be taken serious. We should not take him serious anymore. If you want the price of unga to come down, he should first lower the price of fuel and the price of electricity. Another key factor that affects the cost of production is the exchange rate. Exchange rates directly affect the cost of production. If a company imports goods from overseas, then definitely the cost of production will be higher if the exchange rates are high. Exchange rate can greatly affect the cost of production. Right now, the US dollar is trading at 134 Kenya shillings. With this kind of rates, we should expect the price of unga to be even more, not less than 200 shillings. And another factor which I'm going to touch, which I'm not going to explain, is the tax rates. Taxes are high right now as we speak. The government is taxing us bila huruma. I'm not going to touch on the taxes. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and I hope you have learned something on this video. Kindly give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not. And also don't forget to comment below, share your opinions. Let me know what you think about this video. Thank you so much for watching.